We're going to continue our series on the rollout of 5G, the so-called next generation of wireless technology. All this week, we're focusing on the questions that are being raised around 5G and what's really happening when it's literally everywhere. Then what, right? And this is the time to ask the question before it gets everywhere. For example, scientists, some of them who raise questions, are being attacked. We ask why. Here to tackle the question of 5G is our special correspondent, Michelle Greenstein. What do you have for us tonight?
You know, you just finished talking with Danny Scherzen about the war on terror. And abroad, the war on terror is all about, bombing people, etc. Right. But at home, the other side to, these war on terror policies is surveillance. And that's actually exactly what 5G is about. What we have with 5G is the ability to have smart city energy grids, water systems, self-driving cars. None of this would be possible without the rollout of 5G, which means every single device in your home has the possibility of being connected to the internet. We're talking everything from refrigerators to water bottles to babies' diapers. These are just some of the things that the industry is working on developing. But of course, in order to transmit that amount of data, you're going to need exactly what we're looking at right now. Carriers are going to need these kind of base stations every few hundred feet. And so if the telecom industry's plans come to fruition, then no person or animal for that matter will be able to avoid exposure to this radio frequency radiation. And the problem with that is this: the peer-reviewed scientific literature that's been conducted independently already shows that RF radiation is harmful to biological life. So it's actually a biological toxin. Now, in the past, we've talked about the international appeal from over 180,000 scientists and doctors telling the UN to halt this international rollout. We've also talked about the largest, most expensive study to date connecting wireless radiation with things like cancers, which showed that rats that were exposed to this kind of radiation did develop brain tumors. But now I want to talk about how this is also a hazard to healthy reproduction, because we know, again, from independent scientific literature that men who keep cell phones in their pockets the longest have the lowest sperm count.
Mr. Secretary-General, UN staff have repeatedly been told that they are the most important resource of this organisation. Since December 2015, the staff here at the Vienna International Centre have been exposed to off-the-scale electromagnetic radiation from Wi-Fi and mobile phone boosters installed on very low ceilings throughout the buildings. Current public exposure levels are at least 1 quintillion, that's 18 zeros, 1 quintillion times above natural background radiation, according to Professor Olle Johansson of the Karolinska Institute in Sweden. The highly dangerous biological effects of EMFs have been documented by thousands of studies since 1932, indicating that we may be facing a global health catastrophe orders of magnitude worse than those caused by tobacco and cigarettes. Mr. Secretary-General, on the basis of the precautionary principle, I urge you to have these EMF-emitting devices removed immediately from these buildings and to call a halt to any rollout of 5G at UN duty stations, because 5G is designed to deliver concentrated and focused electromagnetic radiation in excess of 100 times current levels in the same way as do directed energy weapons. In line with the UN guiding principles on business and human rights to protect, respect and remedy, 5G technologies must be subjected to an independent health and safety assessment before they are launched anywhere in the world. There is currently an international appeal signed by 237 EMF scientists from 41 nations urging the UN and particularly the WHO to exert strong leadership in fostering the development of more protective EMF guidelines, encouraging precautionary measures and educating the public about the considerable health risks, particularly the risks to children and fetal development. Mr. Secretary-General, I think we have a unique opportunity here at the UN office at Vienna. Since our medical records are digitized, you have the choice and the possibility of releasing data on a closed population exposed to off-the-scale levels of electromagnetic radiation in a metal-walled building. which exacerbates the situation, to establish if there have already been abnormal health consequences for the UN staff here in the last 28 months. I urge you to do so and stop any rollout of 5G immediately. Thank you.
Sorry, because we are talking with someone that is a little bit ignorant on these things. We're talking to the Wi-Fi systems?
On the ceilings of these buildings, Wi-Fi boosters and cell phone boosters were installed without consultation, without information to staff in December 2015. The situation here is extremely dangerous. I have heard anecdotally of many people who have had health problems. I don't know if they are related, but the precautionary principle would dictate that we use our medical records to look into this and that we remove these dangerous devices immediately. Thank you.
Well, I become worried because I put those devices in my house.
Not a good idea.